The nation's highest court began hearings in a controversial case this morning stemming from a lawsuit that started right here in Tennessee. Good evening, I'm Marius Payton.
And I'm Lauren Lowry. Last year, Tennessee joined several states in banning gender-affirming care for minors. The question justices will answer is if that was constitutional. Parents of transgender teens in Tennessee say it wasn't. A handful of them are at the center of the lawsuit. One plaintiff from Nashville says it's about reclaiming rights for her daughter.
It was just purely political. It was, let's use these poor kids and these families as a pawn. And like, we just want to be able to take her to the doctor.
A growing number of state laws targeting transgender care have been enacted in recent years, including in Tennessee and Kentucky. The laws have a particular focus on minors, saying this treatment shouldn't be accessible until they're 18.
However, the justices sway. Analysts say the High Court's decision will have ripple effects for the entire country. It all hinges on their interpretations of the 14th Amendment. Our Steve Mailing listened to the hours of arguments made today. And Steve, what's the point of contention here?
Oh, Marius, the case comes down to the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Justices heard from both sides. They'll decide if the Tennessee law violates it. In the nation's biggest courtroom, a fierce debate that all started in Tennessee.
I think the moral argument is one that undermines what is actually happening here, which is an erosion of our individual freedoms and rights.
Tennessee's elected officials carefully considered the evidence and passed a law to protect Tennessee kids. The Constitution allows this.
The debate surrounds the first Senate bill of last year's legislative session in Tennessee, which effectively banned gender-affirming care for minors throughout the state who are looking to safely transition away from their assigned gender at birth.
This statute on its face says you can't have medications inconsistent with sex, and no matter what you think about transgender discrimination generally, that's a sex-based line.
Those against the bill argue the care greatly reduces the risk of suicide and mental challenges among transgender youth. The Trevor Project estimates that states who passed anti-transgender laws aimed at minors saw suicide attempts skyrocket by as much as 72%. Tennessee lawmakers say the care is more harmful than helpful. That's why they passed the law to ban care such as puberty blockers, hormone treatment therapy, and gender reassignment surgeries for anyone under 18 looking to transition.
Using hormones and puberty blockers to address a physical condition is far different from using it to address psychological distress associated with one's body.
The U.S. Sixth Circuit of Appeals upheld Tennessee law. Solicitor General Preligar says they understand the importance of keeping kids safe, but they argue that since Tennessee's law focuses in on gender-assigned birth as a factor, the alleged sex-based line violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Tennessee's Solicitor General claims that's not true, that this only focuses on protecting minors in the state. Yet a couple things to look out for here in this case. A decision is likely to come not until next summer, but it was fairly evident during questioning which way court members would likely lean. The true wild card right now is Justice Neil Gorsuch, who didn't ask one question during the over 2-hour argument session. Lauren, Marius.